Have you ever felt like someone is telling you to be quiet, even when you did nothing wrong? Have you ever sensed that a rule, a pressure, or a certain look at you was trying to decide for you what you can believe, what you can say, and who you are allowed to be? If you know that weight, then stay with me, because today, Daniel's story will speak to you directly. Today, you will see how a calm man can stay standing when a whole system wants him to bend. Daniel lives in a powerful kingdom, with palaces, laws, and offices where every word matters. He does not try to be loud, he does not try to be seen, and he does not chase applause. He works, he listens, he serves, and he keeps a clean conscience. Over time, people give him responsibilities, because he is reliable, because he does not cheat, because he does not play with serious things, and because he moves with a discipline that makes others uncomfortable. Around him, many want to rise, many want to shine, and many want to stand close to power. But Daniel mainly wants to stay upright, even when no one is watching. In this kingdom, many things happen through signatures, corridors, quick messages, and decisions that fall without explanation. Some men smile in front, then cut behind, because politics loves masks. Daniel moves without a mask, and that is exactly what bothers people. Because a man who stays clean brings the dirt of others into the light, even if he says nothing. They see him arrive early, they see him leave late, they see him give clear reports, and they see him refuse the small compromises that seem normal to everyone else. He does not believe he is better than others, but he refuses to ruin himself. And the more stable he becomes, the more others feel a discomfort, as if his very presence asks a silent question: why do you accept what he refuses? Daniel has a battle no one applauds. That battle is not a lion at first, it is not a weapon, and it is not a crowd. It is the quiet pressure of having to choose between staying faithful to who he is, or protecting himself by becoming someone else. He knows success attracts eyes, and eyes attract jealousy, and jealousy always looks for a crack. He also knows that in a kingdom of laws, one sentence can become a trap, and a calm man can be punished simply because he refuses to sell himself. And in that kind of world, fear does not always shout. It slips in, it whispers, and it tells you, do less, pray less, hide yourself, adjust yourself, or you will lose. Daniel was not born into comfort. He has known loss, change, and displacement. He learned early that a world can turn without warning, and that a name can be forgotten overnight. So he built his peace on something stronger than people's opinions. This is not a fragile calm. It is a trained calm, a repeated calm, a calm that has crossed seasons. And when you have crossed hard seasons, you learn one thing. You cannot control every door, but you can choose who you become behind each door. A new king rules, and he wants to organize the kingdom with order and efficiency. He appoints leaders, creates positions, divides territories, and looks for capable men who can carry weight without stealing honor from others. Daniel stands out, not through speeches, but through results, and the other leaders see it, and they feel threatened. They speak in low voices, they look at each other, they calculate, and they understand one simple thing. As long as Daniel stays there, their road to the top will be harder. So they do not try to become better, they try to make him fall. The day of the decree does not begin with drums. It begins like a normal day. Men carry documents. Guards open doors. Messengers come and go. And in the middle of all that movement, decisions are made that will change the life of a man who, himself, asked for nothing. That is often how pressure arrives, not with a clear warning, but with a new rule that falls on you, and quietly asks you to become smaller so others can feel bigger. The leaders watch Daniel. They look for a mistake, a weakness, an open door, a wrong word, a money issue, a moral issue, a work issue. But the more they look, the more frustrated they become, because they find nothing. And when people find nothing against you, they do not always stop. Sometimes, they simply change strategy. They say, if we cannot accuse him in his work, then we will attack him in what he loves in silence. We will attack his faith, and we will use the law like a knife. So they approach the king with clean smiles. They speak of respect, they speak of unity, they speak of honor, and they offer an idea that sounds brilliant. For 30 days, no one may make a request to any god or any man except the king. They say it will be a sign of loyalty, a sign of order, a sign of greatness. The king, flattered, signs the decree, without seeing the invisible thread tightening around one man alone. And as soon as the ink dries, the leaders walk away with a dangerous calm, because they already know what they want. They do not only want Daniel to obey, they want Daniel to give up, and they want him to break. When the king signs, he does not think about Daniel. He thinks about unity. He thinks about respect. He thinks about his authority. And pride can be sweet. It can have a polite voice, a reasonable tone, and a logic that looks clean. But pride loves shortcuts, and it does not like being told no. The leaders, for their part, do not want a better kingdom. They want a kingdom where their jealousy can breathe. So they turn an idea into a trap, and they call it reform. And now, the first question pulls you forward. When a rule forces you to betray who you are, what do? Do you bend to survive, or do you stay steady, even if the price is heavy? Daniel hears the news. He understands the danger. He knows the men who created this law do not want peace. They want his fall. And yet, he does not panic, he does not start running everywhere, and he does not build an excuse. He goes home, as he usually does. He opens his window, as he usually does. He kneels, as he usually does. He prays, not to provoke, not to defy, not to show off. He prays because it is his inner breathing, and because he refuses to let fear become his new rule. The leaders follow him, in silence. They wait for the moment. They look through the opening. They see Daniel on his knees. And they smile, not because they won a war, but because they finally found an image they can use. They rush to the king. They remind him of the decree. They use clean words, but their hearts are dirty. They say, Daniel does not respect your law. And suddenly, a man who served faithfully becomes a file, a problem, an example, a warning to anyone who wants to stay free inside. The king hears Daniel's name, and his face changes. He understands too late. He sees the trap, and he also sees the injustice. He looks for a solution. He asks questions. He tries to go around his own signature. But the law has become a cage, and the king has become a prisoner of his image. All day, he fights the decree, and all day, the leaders repeat that the law cannot be changed. The sun goes down. The decision must fall. And the king, saddened, orders that Daniel be brought in. Once Daniel is accused, the king changes pace. He asks to hear every line of the decree again. He questions his advisors. He searches for an exception. He proposes compromises. He tries to buy time, because he knows some decisions, if you make them too fast, will follow you for the rest of your life. But the more he struggles, the more he understands the leaders do not want to discuss. They want victory, and they want victory tonight. So the day stretches like a tight rope. Shadows grow longer. And injustice prepares itself, not because of a lack of evidence, but because of an excess of pride. Here is the second question. If even the king wants to save you, but cannot, who can still help you? And when the door closes, can your peace stay open inside? They lead Daniel to the den. The path is short, but it feels long, because every step feels like an ending. Soldiers walk around him. Men watch. Curious eyes try to see if he will shake. But Daniel moves with a calm that bothers people. The king speaks a few words, like a trembling blessing. Then Daniel is lowered into the darkness. A stone is rolled. A seal is set. And silence falls, heavy, like a night with no window. Before the stone rolls, Daniel looks at the king. He does not look at him with contempt. He does not look at him with panic. He looks at him with a calm compassion, as if he understands the king is also trapped, just in a different way. And sometimes, that is maturity. You see the enemy, you see the trap, you see the weakness of others, and you still refuse to become hard. Daniel does not win by becoming cruel. He crosses through by staying true. In the darkness, Daniel hears breathing. He hears movement. He knows he is not alone. And in that moment, many would have let panic take all the space. But Daniel does not feed panic. He feeds trust. He does not know how the night will end, but he chooses not to let anxiety write the story. He speaks to God softly, like speaking to someone who is already listening. He breathes. He remembers moments when he was guided. He remembers that a door closed for men is not a door closed for God. And as the night moves forward, the den becomes a place where fear waits for a scream and does not receive one. In the den, fear could take all the space because it loves closed places. It loves scenarios, images, what ifs, disasters, and questions that spin in circles. But Daniel does not give fear a throne. He does not play a movie in his head where everything ends badly. He holds one simple truth: I am not alone. He listens to the silence. He lets his thoughts settle. He refuses to fight darkness with his imagination, because he knows imagination, when it runs wild, can be louder than a lion. So he anchors himself, sentence by sentence, breath by breath, like a man crossing an inner sea without losing his direction. In the palace, the king cannot find rest. Food does not please him. Music does not calm him. The bed does not carry him. He walks. He thinks. He regrets. Because when you know you signed something unjust, your heart becomes loud, even if your mouth stays silent. And in this night, two men are confined, Daniel in a den, and the king inside his own decision. Morning comes. The sky changes. The king gets up too early, like a man running toward an answer. He hurries to the den, and his voice trembles when he calls. He does not call like a confident king. He calls like a man who still hopes. And he says, "Daniel, was your God able to save you?" He listens. Silence holds for a moment. Then a voice answers, clear, alive, steady. Daniel is there. Daniel is at peace. Daniel says God kept him, because he did no wrong, and because he stayed faithful. The king orders Daniel to be lifted out. Men pull. The stone moves. Light returns. And Daniel comes out, unhurt, without a mark, like a living witness that fear is not always the last sentence. The king becomes angry with those who lied, and truth breaks into the open. The leaders who wanted a fall now see their own shame, and the kingdom learns a lesson it did not want to learn. You can trap a man with laws, but you cannot control God with signatures. And here is the third question, the one that touches your everyday life. When you come out of a hard night, how do you keep your heart clean? How do you avoid becoming hard, proud, or cold after a victory when you have been protected? Now breathe for a moment and look at your own world. Maybe your den does not have lions, but it has pressures. Maybe someone gave you a rule that cuts you off from yourself. Maybe you were placed in a situation where you must choose between being accepted and being true. Maybe you live in a classroom, a family, a group, a workplace, where you feel watched, and where your calm bothers people. Daniel's story shows you that strength is not always in noise. Sometimes, real strength is in stability. Sometimes, real freedom is in staying faithful to what holds you upright inside. Now, if you learn English with me, here are a few short lines to repeat calmly, with a steady breath, because rhythm often builds confidence more than speed. Listen once, then repeat each one once, without rushing, and with a simple tone. I will stay calm under pressure. I will not trade my faith for comfort. I can do the right thing, even when it is hard. One quiet choice can change everything. After a hard night, I will stay humble. If this story helped you, keep it with you today, even if you only have a small strength, because small strength, well directed, can last a long time. And if you want to continue this series, you can simply subscribe, so you can find more Bible stories told with calm, to learn, breathe, and move forward, one step at a time. Take care of yourself, move with a simple peace, and remember, even when a door closes outside, your heart can stay open inside.